We are out of my basement here at the glorious Grove, the Grove, in Watford, England, where the Bills are once again practicing for their London game. Back here, same place they were at in 2015. Much nicer setting. Here's Thad's three things. Number one, the Bills have to watch out for a letdown in this game. Last week was an emotional game. The Bills were on a high, no doubt, taking on their division rival, game for the division lead, and they dominated. Could not have played better. 48-20. As good as the Bills played, it's hard to imagine they're not at least a little bit of a come down from that high this week. And then on top of that, you throw in the fact that they fly on a Thursday as opposed to a Saturday like they would for a normal road game. 5-hour time change. All the ingredients are there for Buffalo to have a problem. And also it's against a team in the Jaguars that they struggled when Jacksonville was bad 2 years ago. The personnel, on defense is somewhat similar. The offensive personnel is upgraded. You would think that, again, this would be a danger zone, a landmine type game. So the Bills have to find a way. They won't be as up as much as they were for the Dolphins game, but at least make sure that emotion doesn't dip too much. Number two, you look at this Jags offense on paper, and they should be able to keep up with anybody in the league. At receiver, they've got Calvin Ridley, who was a bona fide star, at least was again this year for week one, hasn't been since. Ridley, week one, 8 catches, 101 yards, and a touchdown. Since then, last 3 games total, 7 catches, $110, and another touchdown. I would think the Jaguars would want to get him involved. But Christian Kirk's a highly paid free agent. He's a guy that certainly has tons of talent. Evan Ingram's one of the better tight ends in the league. At running back, Travis Etienne is still a danger to score from anywhere. And the fantasy community loves the backup Tank Bigsby. And you watch him, you can see there's juice. And then there's Trevor Lawrence, the quarterback, the former number 1 overall pick, who still has immense talent. The Jags have some dudes. And again, if the Bills have some sort of letdown, this is not the offense you want to let get going. Number 3, does Von Miller play in this game? I think ideally the Bills would not want him to. They'd want him to be able to sit out at least another week, have more than one practice. Think about it. They've had one legit practice this week, and that's all Miller has had since last Thanksgiving. That is not the situation you want to throw your $50 million guaranteed guy onto the field. All that said, Miller said he was cleared for football stuff before the season began. He looks fine. He says he's fine, but Von Miller is Mr. Positive Thinking. And as much as I love that, it's going to kind of skew reality a little bit with where he's at. But if Greg Rousseau, if that injury is enough of a problem, enough of a concern, it might increase the urgency to get Miller back on the field. If it's limited, if it's a snap count, and if Rousseau's maybe not going to play, I can understand the Bills wanting him on the field. For this game, before the season began, I think we all looked at it and said, this is a problem. Jags are good. Jags are probably going to win the AFC South. Well, they haven't looked that way. They've been struggling. Got hammered by Houston, scored only 9 points against Kansas City a few weeks ago. This team is not what we thought they were. And the Bills have been just dialed in. And they've done this a few times, Buffalo has, early in the season. Ready to go, play well early. They've won their last 3 games, the Bills have, by 4 touchdowns each. Look, the Bills are the better team. They're the better coach team. They're the more confident team. I'm going to keep picking a 4-touchdown win until I see something different. Give me the Bills in this game, 41-13.